Hi everyone, it's Nicole Spohr here today for Simon Says Stamp with this set of 4 Rainbow Bear Hugs cards. These cards feature just a single bear die to create this rainbow effect. So there are a couple other dies in use, but mainly the main portion or part of this card is that cute little bear hugs die that's been out for a while from Simon Says Stamp. And I'm kind of just revisiting some older supplies from my craft stash. So mixing and matching that with some newer products as well. We're going to be creating 4 of these cards. They are all exactly the same with one little difference, and that is the sentiment that I used on the front of the card for that center. So they all kind of stem from this center, and I did start with this "You Are My Happy" sentiment from the Simon Says Stamp Greeting Mixed 1 stamp set. So this was kind of the inspiration behind the card. I knew I wanted to do the rainbow bears, but I needed a circular sentiment for the center. Then I thought I'd go, a little off of script here and do some other sentiments and just make them a circle shape. Now, while I was looking for a die, because this set actually doesn't have dies that coordinate with it, I don't think, I grabbed the Hero Arts nesting circle dies, which are all of these different sizes of circle dies. So there's lots of different nested circle dies out there. I picked one of those because there's so many sizes and I found one that fit this shape, which is so awesome. I'm going to die cut that with that circle die, and then I'm going to use that same circle die. I took it to my stamp set, the same Greeting Mixed 1 stamp set, and picked 3 other sentiments that we'll be stamping here in a minute. Now that awesome die cut border. This is one of my favorite Spellbinders die sets. I love these, and it's called Essential. I do believe it is essential. This is the Essential Rectangles Etched dies. They also have these in ovals, circles, and squares, I believe, and they are fantastic. This little die cut border of all these little circles, I absolutely love. I went ahead and die cut this from some Simon Says Stamp Fog cardstock for a beautiful little decorative border. It's really understated, but I love how it adds a little something to the border. And then we are taking the Simon Says Stamp You Are background stamp, which I have mentioned many, many times in different videos. That is my absolute favorite. And we are stamping with white pigment ink over this light gray background. It's very subtle, but it does give a little bit of interest to this background. And in real life, you definitely can see it a little bit better. Now, if you, at any time, sometimes little intricate die cut pieces like this, especially these little teeny tiny circles, can kind of be a pain to get out. I like to use this little tool that works with the tool-in-one and just simply roll it over, and you can see them popping out of your cardstock, which is incredible. This tool-in-one, probably my most often used tool next to my die cutting machine, because I do love to die cut so much and I do so much die cutting. This tool gets a workout. It is fantastic. It has different tips, styluses, the piercing tool, the little roller brush tool, has lots of different things you can mix and match and use with that. Now that we have our background, this background does measure 4 by 5¼ inches. I am going to adhere my sentiment that I have die cut with some foam adhesive. Everything is going to be adhered with foam adhesive to keep it, just kind of give it a little dimension and really make it the prominent part of our card design, which it obviously is. We're going to have this rainbow of adorable little bears. And then off camera, I did die cut lots and lots of bears. I did 4 of each color so that I could do 4 bears, and we are putting 2 foam adhesive squares on the back of each. 1 larger foam adhesive square and 1 smaller. That larger one I am making sure goes right behind the body of the bear where that heart die cut is. And then on the head of the bear, I chose to use a smaller square because I don't actually want to inlay the ears. I'm going to be inlaying the hearts in the center of the bear, but we're not going to do the ears today. If you wanted to, you could. It would be a little trickier because your foam adhesive probably is not going to do that shape unless you wanted to die cut the whole bear from maybe some fun foam or something like that that you have adhered stick-it adhesive to both sides, that would be a fun idea as well. This was super quick and easy though, so that's kind of why I chose to do it this way. And then I am gonna slowly work my way around. I had laid out the bears. I had a pretty good idea that they were going to fit with some slight overlap between each bear. So a little overlap between a foot and a hand, which is fine. I kind of want it to look like they're holding hands all the way around. It definitely was inspired by the time we're going through and all of that, where you know, we're kind of all in this together type of mentality. That was kind of the thought process behind the creation of this, but it also is going to ensure that we can fit all of these rainbow bears around. I originally had started die cutting a lot more colors, and I real quickly realized that wasn't going to work. So I kind of narrowed it down to a light pink, a dark pink, red, one orange, one yellow, 2 shades of green, 2 shades of blue, and a purple, which is that lavender cardstock. My cardstock colors, I think they span, I know I have listed these all in the supplies, but we have an assortment. We've got some from Hero Arts, some from Fawn, and some from Simon Says Stamp. So all of these colors are listed and linked in the supplies down below and also on my blog post. This first card was definitely my guinea pig, where I had to kind of rearrange a couple of bears real quick. Totally not a problem because I didn't push them down in place too much until I had a good idea if everything was going to fit or not. The remaining 3 cards though, you guys, went together just like that because I had already done it once and kind of knew what to do. Then we're going to take the hearts, which I saved when I die cut all of these, and we're just going to shift them one to the right, if that makes sense. So the aqua color is going to be shifted to the other blue color, and so on and so forth. We're just shifting the color one to the right, and that way the heart in the center of the bear's chest is a different color or a different shade and shows up really fun. And you guys, that's basically it. I mean, at this point, this was super quick, super simple, and I am all about these days. If I have my supplies out and I have already kind of done the work, I'm going to create more than one. So I die cut all of these bears, all of these backgrounds, all of my sentiments. I kind of did it assembly line style. This first one was, as I mentioned, what I kind of call quote unquote my guinea pig. I did this one and I was like, yep, this is gonna work. I'd already die cut the bears, but I thought, you know, maybe I'll change the design or whatever. I love the design, so I'm going to stick with this, but I love to mix and match up my sentiments. So again, from that Simon Says Stamp Greetings Mixed One stamp set, we're going to take some other sentiments. Sunnier days are coming. You are the best. This is a paper hug. And we're going to stamp these on black cardstock and heat emboss with white embossing powder. I wanted all of the circles to be the same. And while the first circle is that solid, that kind of has that negative effect. So I stamped it on white cardstock with black ink because it's a solid color circle and just the letters don't stamp. I wanted the same effect or the same look, but these are a little bit different in design. So we're going to create our own black circle with black cardstock and white embossing powder. Once I have them stamped, I'm going to sprinkle on the white embossing powder. We're going to heat set that, and then we're going to take the exact same size Hero Arts Infinity Circle die and die cut these into circle shapes. So I did make sure before I chose these sentiments that they were going to fit within that circle shape. You can always pick a bigger circle shape if you wanted to. It's just going to change the size of your bear circle, if you will, but you can totally do that if you want to. Then I did trim down all of the rest of my fog backgrounds to 4 by 5 1/4 inches, and we're going to stamp those assembly line style with the UR background stamp using white pigment ink, and then I will die cut the border with the Spellbinders Essential Rectangles Etched dies. I know that's a little backwards from how I did it originally. I will admit, originally I thought I would just do the die cut border and that would be enough. I tend to not like a super plain border, but I do like a tone on tone border, and or a very subtle, not border, background, sorry. But I do like a subtle background. And so this just adds enough of an interest to this that I really think it makes the rainbow bears pop. And so I opted to add that text background. And again, this is something I have used over and over in my recent videos since it was released earlier, I think this year, maybe at the end of last year. This UR background stamp is tiny text that just, to me, completes so many different projects. It's a fantastic basic. I've got a couple of my favorite basics in this video. One is this UR background and the other is the Essential Rectangles Etched dies. I love these. I love the glimmer plates that you can heat foil that are the rectangle shape especially. The rectangles are my favorite, but I love the other shapes as well. Fantastic. I decided then that I wanted to finish the insides of my cards, and I am going to have to reach outside of just this one stamp set, greeting stamp set. I did do a couple cards with the You Got This, I Support You No Matter What from the Greeting Mixed One stamp set. So 2 of the cards are going to have that. The other 2, I actually reached for our April card kit of the month stamp set, which you can purchase the stamp set individually. It's Follow the Rainbows. Because we have rainbow bears, I knew that if one of the sentiments on the front of the card would work really great with a rainbow type of sentiment, that I wanted to incorporate those. So a couple of my cards are going to have that, and I'm going to do Follow the Rainbows with the Sunnier Days Are Coming sentiment. So that's one. And then the You Are My Happy, the original card that we created, I'm actually going to stamp You Are My Rainbow every single day. I think that's beautiful. I think it really works with the sentiments on the front of the card, finishes them off beautifully, and my cards are done. Thank you guys so much for joining me today for these very quick and easy Rainbow Bear Hugs cards. The supplies I used to create the cards are listed and linked below the video here on YouTube. Here are a couple more videos featuring Simon Says stamps and dies that you might be interested in. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell to never miss a new card making video. Thank you so much for joining me today, and we'll catch you next time.